Hello, everyone. Welcome to the first CLIA Global Cruise Line webinar of 2025. We're thrilled to kick off the new year with an exciting and informative session featuring the Scenic Group. My name is Johanna de Guzman. I am the Manager of Industry Relations for North American Travel Trade Membership here at CLIA. Before we dive into today's presentation, I'll quickly go over some housekeeping items. Our presentation today will run for approximately 60 minutes. We encourage you to engage actively by submitting your questions through the webinar's questions module, where you will find our friends from Scenic Group, Margaret and Ian, who will be answering your questions live. For those who might miss today's live session or want to review the content later, this webinar is being recorded and will be available on CLIA's YouTube channel, CLIA Global. It is my pleasure to introduce your presenter, Antolin Del Callado. Antolin is an enthusiastic and results-driven sales professional who joined the Scenic Group to provide support for our Florida and Caribbean travel partners. Leveraging his 21-year cruise experience, he works alongside travel partners to not only educate on Scenic and Emerald products, but also provide strategic ideas and initiatives to help grow their luxury business. And with that, take it away, Antolin.
Thank you so much, Johanna, and thank you so much to the entire CLIA organization, just the partnership and everything that we do together. I mean, this is very greatly appreciated. And also, a very special thank you to all of you travel advisors and travel professionals. Happy New Year. Hope the holiday season was plentiful and Santa, came down the chimney with plenty of presents. But whenever we turn the year, it's all, you always have this sense of reflection and a sense of, hopefully of where you see yourself in the next year, 2 years, 5 years, right? And as I reflect in the past year, some of the things that really stick out about being a part of the Scenic and Emerald team is it's the people component. And my goal throughout this presentation, and not only that, but and to being your partner, is to not only really hone in and highlight these amazing people components that we have across these brands that really make these offerings unique, but also in how we partner, right? And one of the things that one of many, but one of the very core fundamental things that I learned from the 24 season is, that we have a fantastic portfolio of products, really designed to really motivate and inspire. And I'll say that quite a bit throughout the presentation because we genuinely feel that, right? But they're designed to really motivate your luxury traveler to really take that next step in their travel career, right? So, and what we found is sometimes, as the products are delivering, it's that travel partners, we want to help them identify when Scenic or Emerald would be a good option to put on the table, right? Because for us, we know we're not going to win all the business, but it's important that we work hand in hand together so that these amazing products and this value proposition that each one has, that at least your consumer and your client can actually just calculate that and actually consider it when they're choosing their next vacation, right? So that's going to be kind of the major goal of this presentation, and hopefully we'll see some results as we grow together. Going back to the basics, for those that may or may not know, so the Scenic Group, we are two different cruise brands, right? And this is very important to remember because they're all uniquely, designed for different demographics and different portfolios that will ultimately grow their travel career. But we are a privately owned company. And talking about the people component, I'd be remiss if I didn't mention Glenn and Karen Maroney, which are our owners. But you're talking about some of the most down-to-earth, just genuine folks that really just have a passion to connect people, to help people connect around the world and really see the amazing cultures that our world offers and amazing destinations, right? And then the other unique part of it is not only are we two brands, but we're four products because each brand has a river and an ocean counterpart. I know and I'm hoping that the majority of you on this webinar are going to say, well, yeah, Antolin, I know that. But again, just in my past year reflection, and even dealing with agents that have had a tremendous amount of success, you're talking about, several hundreds of thousands of dollars on the books. And sometimes even they get confused and ask me, hey, does Emerald have an ocean product, right? So, we understand and respect the market's always changing. Thank goodness the industry is growing. So again, we want to simplify the approach on how we are, how to define us, and when to get us in there, right? So we are two luxury and ultra luxury brands, each that has a river and an ocean counterpart. So that is very unique in its own right. And as we talk about this, because again, this is a very, I want this to either be an aha moment or really maybe spark an interest on how we can develop a plan together. But if you really think about the different products that we have, really, they really play into the evolution of your passenger, right? And a lot of this you're doing on your own, right? If you think about it, you're taking folks from an inside maybe over to an ocean view or a balcony, or you eventually take them from a balcony to a suite, right? Or you take them from a mass market line over to something a little bit more specific. And then this is kind of like a good overview of kind of this progression that your guests have, right? Like you for the most part, right? You try a mass market product, you're introduced into this cruising concept, this floating resorts, right? Like, and then you take a liking to it and you say, this is fun. Next time I want to bring my family, or next time let's go to a specific destination. We just did the Eastern Caribbean, let's do the Western, right? That, even though if it's not just going from mass market to luxury, right? There is an evolution that takes place, right? And we can strategically offer these products again to just continue growing your client's appetite, but also their to-do list, if you will. Then once their next evolution from more specified maybe itineraries or service driven or a specific itinerary, then you're looking for maybe something more specific in terms of refinement of service, something a little bit more exclusive, right? Perhaps it's a river cruise, perhaps it's going from a mass market over to luxury or an ultra luxury brand, right? And then ultimately, regardless of where your paths end up, right, we want to get you into the pinnacle of really seeing the world in ultra luxury cruising, which is our ultra luxury kind of product that we have, right? So this is we want to be better partners, and when we have an idea of how we can work together, and again, most importantly, when it's appropriate and when our brands should be on the kind of negotiation table when your clients are deciding their next cruise, right? I hope that we honed in on the first button here, or the first point here, is that why partner us? What are some of the advantages? Is that we do have a diverse portfolio, right? We have, and we'll get into it obviously, but we have an entry level luxury product that's not steep on the cost. It's not a very steep kind of increase from a mass market to help that gradual increase. We have excellent river cruises in Europe and in Asia, and then ocean yachts with similar size and value propositions in terms of that intimacy and high touch, right? Again, the people component. We have an incredible team, not only worldwide, but specifically here in the U.S. market, the North American market. We're growing vastly. Big thanks to you and the partnerships that are really growing and driving this tremendous growth. But also and this starts from the top with Glenn. You got to give the man and his wife, of course. You got to give the Maroonies some credit. But it's that continuous quest for improvement and innovation, right? And we'll see this, and I have some examples of some new builds, right? Hopefully you're excited about that they're going to be coming through. But it's that always wanting to get better. It's listening to our partners, such as you guys. It's listening to our consumers, right? Because we know that we're onto something special, but the brand can never really reach its full potential. We can't really reach our growth aspirations if we don't continue to really fine tune and innovate with the times, right? To make sure that it's a fresh and vibrant offering, and one, again, that's going to motivate and inspire your guests to take that next step. And then, of course, the partnerships. We are very grassroots oriented. If you're, and hopefully some of you on here have already worked with me in the past, but, we're very aggressive when it comes to partnering in the trenches, if you will. So from cruise nights, developing plans, even if there's an investment, if we can provide a nice ROI component to that, we are willing, and we are that supplier that's willing to take that risk and that investment in our partners, and not only in just dollars, but in resources and our time, right? And truly do the things that we can to really propel our partnership. So these are that is at the core of the pillars of how we operate. It's really aligns with our core values as a company. And again, it's just, some of the many things that we feel separate us in the marketplace. So without further ado, we'll get into the first brand. Again, we're 2 brands, 4 products. It's important to hone that down. We're going to start with our, think of it as upper premium, entry level luxury offering of Emerald Cruises. It's a spectacular product in terms of refinement, in terms of value, right? The value on these, both of the products on Ocean and River, are outstanding. They're just absolutely spectacular. And again, it's us being a better partner, or being a good partner, and helping our trade partners understand the value proposition that Emerald has, that really truly give it an advantage in the marketplace, and ultimately it will help you close some more business. Because it's the next level from the mass market, right? It's your new that next step in refinement, if you will, in your luxury kind of journey. The Emerald brand can cater a little bit of a younger demographic, and this will hold true to both brands. Both brands absolutely have an active and a discovery element to it. Emerald, of course, being no different. And you're going to see that even the average age, mostly because of the ocean product, but it could be a 45 plus. So it's not uncommon for empty nesters, millennials, entrepreneurs that just really, can really work from anywhere around the world, all the way up to your, retirees and people really looking for that bucket list destination, right? So it's we can cater to that, to all these demos, and then we like to share this, but this holds true to a lot of your kind of your luxury clientele, right? These are some of the indicators that we should be looking at. And if you're already using some of this and pitching some other brands, then of course, this is where we would want Emerald to be included in the conversation. Some of the other things that we believe Emerald has really to its advantage, we just really have a modern fleet on both on the river and the ocean side, and most importantly, each one of these components is growing, and I'm going to get to that here in a second. We have two incredible ocean yachts of 50 cabins, 100 passengers, and we have 9 incredible river ships servicing basically all the major river systems in Europe, and then we have an excellent Southeast Asia product as well. We're going to say value a lot on Emerald because it truly is, again, one of the biggest advantages, because it offers that unique and robust value proposition that's going to help your guests take that next step and say, you know what, yeah, I want to go into a more refined environment for my next cruise, right? So on the river side, beer and wine is available at lunch and dinner. Wi-Fi is available on board, and this is true for all of our products. You'll never be charged additional for Wi-Fi. Starlink service across. We offer, most of the excursions are offered, and we give you at least one every single day on the river systems, right? So if you're thinking about it, and these are really carefully thought out and highly curated experiences. It's not, and again, not knocking it, but it's not a watered down experience. These are, again, they're carefully curated to make sure that our guests are feeling fully immersive in these destinations, right? We want you to feel that you're a part of the journey far beyond just tasting the food and drinking the local wines or beverages, right? We want you to be a part of it by arts and the culture and the music and the language, and it all comes together beautifully with the way that we curate these excursions. All of the gratuities are covered as well, right? So if you think about it, it's really nice when you pay, again, a very aggressive price and knowing that you're going to get a lot of value add without all of these surprise bills at the end of the cruise. Again, these are the things that luxury clients like, right? They'll spend the money, but they want to know their value proposition. They want it to be clear, and they certainly don't want a surprise bill, and Emerald can hone in on that. Same value proposition, which I would argue is even a little bit more value on the ocean product. We do the same, all of the other same inclusions with the small addition of the drink package is available instead of just beer and wine and lunch and dinner, and that is a very awesome indication of our innovation, because when we first rolled out the Emerald Yacht product, it was also beer and wine and lunch and dinner, which is obviously what the sister counterpart on the Europe offers, right? But because these yachts are designed for warm water, and we'll get into what they are here in the next couple of slides, we said, how can this be a truly luxury experience? And if the guests have to sign or have this transaction for a bottle of water, or a juice, or a coffee, or an adult beverage, right? So we made that an all-inclusive, which just making it even that much more valuable. And then because these yachts are designed to go to bespoke islands and really off the beaten path type of places, especially in the Caribbean, we advertise, I believe it's 3 excursions that we offer per cruise per passenger, right? And then anytime that the marina is deployed, that's completely complimentary. So again, it's a product that hits very high on refinement, extremely high in inclusion, and really a very decent value when you look at the price proposition coming up from a mass market brand. Once you kind of package in all the inclusions that are added, you're essentially almost talking apples to apples, right? To have these this amazing type of experience. Let's get a little bit more specific on the Emerald Ocean side of it. And I can tell you again, hint, this is a growing segment of our business, and we're super excited about it. So as of today, we have two 50 stateroom, 50 cabins, 100 passenger yachts sailing in all warm waters, like I mentioned. So think Caribbean, Adriatic Sea, Red Sea, and we will actually be sailing out of the Seychelles in the coming year or next year as well. So we're very excited about that. So there's not a lot of products that are similar to what we offer. There's some in the marketplace, but not quite. So we're thinking about small yachts going to these exotic locations. I'm going to get to the 128 now. That's the next ship that's coming out. But we're maxed out at 128 passengers. We essentially have a one-to-one crew to guest ratio, and again, inclusions, airport transfers, gratuities. We have spa accommodations, and then of course the excursions that we add on. So again, it's our goal is when your clients are looking for a yacht warm water experience, it's our job as our partners to be like, hey, why don't we allow us or to give you a quote or allow us to bid on this opportunity by offering one of these Emerald yachts, and who knows, you may be pleasantly surprised on your client's reaction to what is obtainable. Because the other thing we find is some folks, they see it, and if they're not experienced or they don't have or they've never even thought about being on a yacht cruise, sometimes they might be not scared, but they might be a little intimidated on what that experience is about. But we really want to hone in. It's welcoming, it's inviting, and the value is there, right? It is there to really, again, help your guests take their next step. So then here's where we get to the 128 passenger one, because we're just extremely happy about this particular ship. But the Emerald Kaya is being constructed as we speak. And she is going to be delivered next April in 2026. And as I mentioned, the first two yachts of this side of the product are 100 passenger max. Our new build is only 128, and I love that. And I think that's a very special and a very important piece to hone in on, because we're in a day and age where everybody wants to scale and everybody wants to go bigger and larger, right? And as we are constructing and delivering a larger ship than the ones currently in place, but the extra real estate was invested in the guest experience. It wasn't just all in adding staterooms, and because we really wanted it to hold true to that Emerald Ocean experience, right? That private yacht feel in a big ship kind of that private ship experience and the big ship feel, better said, right? That personalization where you feel that the ship and the staff is there for you, right? So we're just really incredibly excited about it. And then the other thing is, again, talking about our continuous quest for innovation and for improvements is, and you'll notice this on all the ocean yachts, we never remove the bow from the guest, right? Because we feel that the bow is one of the most iconic and memorable places on our yachts and our ocean ships. So why take that experience away? So even though all the bows are open on our current ships that are sailing today, now on this new build, we made this into a destination on its own. We added just little subtle greenery for some ambiance. We put some nice chairs out there, some furniture, make it comfortable, and a nice whirlpool, right? So just we see that this is a place where people want to hang out. Our guests really are, they love this area. So you know what? We're doubling down, and we're just making it even to a better accommodation. And of course, we want to continue something new and fresh. And again, speaking to that active component that we have, we're making the gym is a little bit larger. I believe it's 50% larger than its current sister ships. And then we also added a back marina kind of lounge where folks are deployed in the marina. If you don't want to be in the water, if you're waiting for somebody to come from ashore, you have a kind of a nice, really comfortable, relaxed area. And then what this does is it helps us create an open air, open gym experience. So how cool is it that you open the shell door, and you can do some meditation or some yoga or stretching here in the morning, having that incredible ocean breeze off the coast, off the Amalfi Coast or somewhere in the Adriatic Sea. I mean, it's really, again, the experiences and the little amenities to really separate us, to really make us unique, but to motivate your guests to take that next step and say, you know what, I see myself meditating and doing yoga on the Amalfi Coast here in the next year or two, right? So that's, again, just bringing new and incredible experiences to our already successful kind of product that we've created. And then the continuation just never stops, right? So we also noticed that our sky deck in our sky bar area, of course, it's going to be naturally one of the places where our guests love to be. You got 360 degree panoramic views of these incredible coastlines. So what we did here is, again, added a little bit more ambiance, put a little bit more greenery around, And then we made it an indoor-outdoor location, right? So just again, this is where the extra real estate has been invested. It's all back into the guest experience because in when you're saying that you're yachting, right, and you're delivering a yacht experience, you have to uphold a certain amount of intimacy and high touch, right? So again, we're just absolutely thrilled that the ship is going to max out 128 passengers to really keep that small, intimate feel. And then, and even now, the new ships are going to kind of take on this slide that the kayak, idea came out with. So now the existing ships have this slide. So the kayak, of course, will have it as well. And then here's a really good picture of that marina kind of lounge area that we're talking about. That's new on this build. And then, as I mentioned, here's, so we'll have 3 ships sailing. We'll have extended seasons in the Med and the Caribbean. So, for those that are close, maybe in Florida or somewhere in the Southeast United States, and maybe you want your clients to take a tester, if you will, before you send them off into a Med cruise. I mean, we have an incredible Caribbean deployment with just really off the beaten path and incredible destinations that can really, again, just whet their appetite to not only sail and enjoy that cruise, but to take them over to an even greater experience. For example, like the Seychelles, right? Which so we're excited. And then, the other thing before we get into the riverside is we really want to talk about, when people think yacht, they think small accommodations, they think cramped or compact. And this is, again, we'll say this, the real estate's invested in the guest experience. So as you're going to see, the colors are very light, the stateroom is very modern, but incredibly spacious, right? So it's not just like, we want to have you and your clients with that mindset that, yes, you're going to have, it's a yacht, that intimate feel, but you're going to have accommodations just like you're on a mass market ship. And therefore, and dare I say, even further than that. And then, it's not just only balconies and balcony deluxes. We also have two incredible terrace suites. So even, again, for that ultra luxury passenger that maybe, they want something different, they can find a home on Emerald as well. And we have the accommodations, again, to accommodate those folks. So again, in closing, when you're thinking about Emerald Ocean, think intimacy, think one-on-one, think off the beaten path. I'm a Florida guy. I've grown up and sailed and fished the Caribbean my whole life. And I even have to kind of study some of these itineraries because there's just some destinations I never even knew existed. And the fact that these ships can get there, again, these are, it excites me. Hopefully that's going to excite your clients as well. So think small ship, honeymoons, empty nesters, and just folks that are just ready for that next step. Hey, I just got off a ship with 7,000 passengers with my family. We had a great time. Now I want to do something a little bit more personalized and specific. That would be our core demo right there. So now we're going to go ahead and shift over to the Emerald River component. And again, here we're going to talk about value. I mean, the big V here, because Emerald is a fantastic product and one that we've had tremendous amount of success of people finding their next jump after a mass market experience. They're saying, you know what, I had a great time on my river cruise. I've done several, but maybe I want to try a new supplier. Maybe I want to try something a little bit more specific. Emerald, these guests are finding a really, really good home under the Emerald brand. And not to be left behind by the ocean counterpart, Emerald River is also a growing brand. So we're just super excited about that as well. We announced the Emerald Astra is going to be delivered in 2026 as well. And as you're going to see, right, we really want to hit on that innovative, modern, sleek look, right? Just like the ocean ships. They're very nice looking ships, right? But we wanted the river ships to kind of mimic that. So you're going to see the new builds, very sleek, very, very nice and modern. And we're making a very big push to have the branding and the look and feel, the furniture even, if you will, to have a lot of similarities between the river and the ocean counterpart, because again, that is our evolution into better defining who we are, better defining our brands to in turn help you deliver these and propose these incredible offers to your clientele. Yeah. So, and I mentioned this in the beginning, but very important. So we do call the river, all the major river systems in Europe, and we have an incredible Southeast Asia product. And when we talked about the demographic could skew a little bit, a little lesser than maybe some of the historical brands, so here are some of the features that, besides the price, some of the amenities that the ships has that really speaks to that, right? So these, specifically in our European products, we have a pool that is available. The pool is heated, right? And the pool is under a space that's a retractable dome. So regardless of what the weather or the climate is outside, we can uphold that pool experience, right? And our guests love that. And we also, again, hitting on that active element, we do some really cool, wellness classes in the pool and things of that nature. Just a great overall kind of a hangout. And unfortunately, I had to take the video out. That was my fault. But at nighttime, what we do is we recreate this space, and the water doesn't drain. We learned this, but the it's a hard floor. The hard floor, it's a hydraulic system, comes all the way up. We put some extra seating out there, and then we do some movie screenings and movie cinema out there, which is very cool. So if you think about it, some of the old stigma of river cruises is, maybe there's not a whole lot to do at nighttime. There's not a lot of choice. Of course, it's not a party cruise, but it's really nice when you have another element of the nightlife or another activity. It adds to the ambiance, right? Because what it does is it's gonna encourage that passenger to stay up a little later, have that extra conversation, extra cup of coffee, maybe extra cup of wine, right? And it's also these little feel good and little people components. Again, we'll say that really bunched up make a great experience, right? So we just love that. It really creates a nice ambiance at night, and again, it helps cater with that younger demo that may be interested in the brand. How we stock up to them. So think where we want to be a little different here. It's the inclusions that we have, right? We only 2 of the ships get up to 180 passengers. The reality is the majority of them are somewhere between 130 to 160 passengers. So you're already talking, compared to mass market, already lesser amount of numbers. We have an incredible amount of inclusions. So again, I know I mentioned that before, but it's just important. Airport transfers are included. Your gratuities are covered. Your Wi-Fi is covered. Beer, wine, and lunch and dinner, and you get at least 1 tour every single day in port, right? So all of this is nicely packaged in under one price. So there is absolutely no surprise bill at the end of the cruise. And again, I hope you see some of the similarities in the look and feel of the river compared to the ocean side, right? Again, by design, we want it to be light, warm, and vibrant coloring, because it is that kind of next step off a mass market. So we wanted it to be a little bit more of an inviting atmosphere. So all of that is done by design, and then they're incredibly just beautiful staterooms. The other thing that we're doing into 2026 is all of the Emerald River ships will be all of the Emerald River ship staterooms will be equipped with iPads, right? So just another element of innovation, and so the guests have at their fingertips more access to kind of curate and kind of design their own trip, if you will, from the touch of an iPad, which is very cool. So in terms of the experiences that we offer of the shore tours, our Emerald Plus and our Emerald Active is always going to be complimentary. These are the ones that are offered on a daily basis. And then because it's not an all-inclusive brand, we say Emerald is nicely inclusive, because I hope you see the value in everything that we include. But there are some activities in the afternoon usually, or there are some other tours that are at a cost called Under Discover More. And again, it's not a surprise. These are the guests. Maybe they want to get a little bit more of the destination, or maybe it's a specific experience that we provide that's really something that interests them. Then, hey, all power to them. We can absolutely get that done on board. And then, again, we mentioned this, but this is a good kind of illustration on all the rivers that we sail to. And at the end of this presentation, I'm going to show you even where I use as a cheat sheet, if you will, to kind of have all this information at your fingertips. So again, that was our Emerald River brand. So again, if you think about Emerald, think value, think next step off of mass market. Excellent even for first-time river cruisers, because of the way it's all nicely packaged. They don't have to be intimidated, feeling like, maybe I'm not going to get the best out of these areas. Because again, the idea and the way that the tours that we include, we want it to be the guests to be fully immersive, be fully immersified in the destination, so they feel like they're really getting the full impact of where they're going to. Value is huge. So again, regardless if it's a mass market or an upper premium kind of offering that your clients are looking at, I really, really would encourage you just to give us a call and give Emerald a chance on that negotiation table, because again, from a price component and from a value proposition, we feel that we will stand a really good shot of acquiring some of that market share and helping you grow your book of business as well. So now that was our first brand and our first 2 products, right? So now we're going to go over to dare I say, our flagship brand, right? The Scenic Luxury Cruises and Tours. So here now we're talking about really the creme de la creme offering of really of anywhere, right? So we're talking about 5-star plus service, ultra luxury, all inclusive, really that next level of people's travel career, right? An incredible fleet, larger than the fleet that we currently have on Emerald. We have two incredible World Discovery yachts that we're going to get into here in a moment. Oh, sorry about that. And I thought I got out of that. And then we have 15 river ships, again, sailing over all through Europe, and we also have a Southeast Asia product as well on Scenic. You know, here it can say that it can cater to an older demographic because of the price point, because it's ultra luxury. But that's not really what I want to hone in on this kind of on our target consumer, right? Because and I say this a lot and I joke about it, but does a client or a prospect with a Rolls Royce or a Lamborghini in the garage, are they a good choice for Scenic? Absolutely, of course. But it's not just that, right? It's not only that, right? So think, because there's an element of discovery and of an expedition even on the Scenic line. Think of brands that really kind of align with that, right? So two of the ones that I'll say, think of Tesla, right? If you think of Tesla, they're at the forefront of EV cars, right? In terms of cost, in terms of quality, and also in terms of innovation, right? So for somebody that might have a Tesla in their garage, there's a lot of similarities in the brand kind of promises that Scenic has, kind of with a Tesla, right? Or I mean, not brand promises, but like similarities within the brand proposition, better said, right? Same as Jeep, right? If you think about Jeep is at the forefront of off-roading and expedition and really off the beaten path, right? And not only that, but if you get these Jeeps, 4x4 with the big wheels, I mean, they're pretty pricey themselves, right? So it's not just a super high-end flashy cars. Scenic, in fact, is not even a flashy brand, and I'll get to this in my experience. It's a very, very welcoming, very it's personalized luxury is the best way I can say. Personalized ultra luxury is the best way I can say it. So we'll go ahead and get into these World Discovery yachts, which honestly, there is nothing in the world like these two particular vessels, right? And the reason why I say that is because it truly brings a yacht small ship feel, right, with ultra luxury, and then even an expedition component, and mixing it into one particular brand, right? It's an award-winning product, and it's really, again, there's really nothing like it, right? So when you're thinking of a comparison chart, right, you would think of it two ways, right? Because you would think how it compares to expedition products when we're doing our expedition runs, but also how it compares on the ocean side of ultra luxury. Because one thing that we're doing better as a company is defining, again, who we are, who these brands are, who they target, but also where they go, right? You're going to see incredible marketing and incredible pictures of these yachts off the coast of Antarctica, of the continent of Antarctica. But the fact of the matter is, it's a world traveler. It hits all 7 continents, so it's far beyond just cold water, right? So again, it's our job to help better identify, partner with you on the educational piece, because all we're asking, right, is we just want to be in the conversation, because again, we feel that the brand and the value proposition is going to help our selling point. All in it is. It's just, again, knowing when it's appropriate to add it. But when now you're talking about, even the Scenic brand as a whole, but everything is included. Of course, there's an asterisk, and I'll get to that. But this is an all-inclusive environment in terms of all of the foods is every single dining experience is included. All of accommodations have a butler. The accommodations start at 345 square foot, going all the way up to 2,100 square foot. Full-on census spa. I have a couple slides to show you. And then premium open bar the entire time, right? So it's truly, and then again, your gratuities, every single excursion, every single experience that's available it's available at your fingertips, minus the helicopter, which there's 2 custom build helicopters, and there's a submersible on each one of the yachts. That's the only experiences that would be for an additional cost, but epic in their own right, and one that your ultra luxury passengers should be booking if they're on the ship. And when we're talking about that, all the food and all the dining experiences is included, I mean, it's just far beyond just 1 or 2 restaurants. There's 10 dining outlets on these incredible yachts. So it's truly a matter of making the reservation with either the maitre d' or your butler. And of course, everybody wants that the smaller kind of venues. So we encourage your guests to get their dining reservations the first day they board. I mean, again, because because we can't fit everybody into all the restaurants, but there's just a lot to do. So even if you're on the ship for an extended period of time, think about it. If you have 10 different places to kind of eat through, you're always having fresh and new and incredible dining experiences, all at a 5-star, 6-star plus offering. I mean, this is truly just an incredible everything in terms of the innovation and the thought process of the menu from the execution, but also the people component when the chef is running around and really you see how they're genuinely asking their guests and what they're eating and doing recommendations on where to eat the next, and it's just such an incredible experience. Can't say enough about it. But then also the wellness center, this is all included as well, minus if you do if there's a service rendered, but there's a census spas. You're going to see there's 6 different touch points from a hot stone lounger, those infrared chairs. There's a salt aromatherapy room. We have the hot and dry saunas. There's that dip pool. So all of that is already included. So if you think about it, a couple of decades ago, if somebody told you that you can literally walk from a gangway off into Antarctica, right? Hike, with an incredible discovery team, then get back on board, right? Go to this 6-star spa to decompress, right? While you wait for your 6-star dinner at nighttime. Again, it's, these ships are making bucket list destinations into to-do lists because now everything's obtainable and it's reachable, and everything is possible now with these incredible ships. And then here are the accommodations. Again, just incredibly well thought out of where everything is spaced out, closet space. It's just extremely comfortable. And again, I think I mentioned it, but starting at 345 square foot, that's the entry level accommodation. This is a suite only vessel, and again, everything is included in terms of the food and beverages and all of the experiences, minus the helicopter and the submersible. Which, if you think about it, right, they have the ability to see these incredible destinations by air, on land, or on sea and land, and then under the sea, all in one day. Again, these are the things that are going to motivate and inspire your ultra luxury clients to take that next step and say, you know what, this is my bragging rights to my community country club. This is the next step, right? This is the one that all my friends are going to be looking at me because I did this crazy or not crazy, this incredible journey, right? That is how these ships are positioned. So some of the technology, not to go through all of it, but my favorite one is the GPS positioning system that allows us to actually pull a gangway and walk off of Antarctica. These are protected regions, a protected area. You're not allowed to anchor there if you didn't know that. So that's when the ship's technology, again, really kind of screams and delivers experiences, again, that our competitors just simply cannot, but just, again, in terms of the technology that the ship holds. And then on this slide, you're going to see, like I mentioned earlier, it's not only, you have to think of it, position it if it's an expedition, but also on the ocean side as well, because it's, again, we're going to see these beautiful pictures of all these cold water regions, but the fact of the matter is, you could go to all over Australia, through Asia, all of the Americas, the South Pacific, as you're going to see in this illustration, right? So it's, so think of it, that Scenic butler service, extremely, entirely immersed into these locations and regions with everything included. I mean, it's just really, that's why we position this as a 6-star experience, because again, there's just nothing like it in the marketplace. So that was Scenic Ocean, right? Bucket list, to-do list, right? Just the next level, the pinnacle of your travel career, and one really that is going to push and continue to push the travel boundaries of where your clients thought was even possible. Now, shifting over to our last product, which is the Scenic River product. And let me tell you, this is one that's very, very important to us. It is, let's talk about it from a sales perspective, right? This is the segment of our business that has the most inventory, right? The most options, right? So obviously, this is where we're going to have a big push and a very big appetite to get some bodies on seats here, right? And we have an incredible opportunity to do that together. Right. So here, because there's no helicopter and submersible, unfortunately, the only asterisk here of what's not included is if you do a massage in the wellness center. So everything here, 100% is included. Right. Again, we're talking about butler service above and beyond. This is 24-hour room service, premium open bar the entire time. All of the gratuities are covered. All of the ships are equipped with e-bikes that's complimentary. It's just a matter of, and I love this because Scenic is about storytelling, right? It's about, you'll see that Scenic and stories, but here it's the passengers, and this is why we say it's personalized ultra luxury, because the passengers have the ability to create their own story, right? And no matter what experience they choose, or what they want to, what excursion or whatnot they want to do, is that they're going to get a high level of just out of this world experience, regardless of what path they choose, right? So it's just a matter of, the story they want to tell, and the impact that they want to get back from these regions, and then these tours are going to deliver on that. The other thing that's very that we love and very unique about the Scenic River is just the capacity. Ships are just as big as all the other ships in the marketplace, but maxed at 163. I know that that the most of the ones in the French region are only 120, 130 passengers. So you're talking about high level, high touch, all inclusive, but also a more personalized kind of experience, right? Definitely not crowded. And when the guest count is lower, of course, it helps us bring in high and really deliver on just out of this world experiences. And you're going to see on the second picture, going from the left to right, that's in Siem Reap, that's Angkor Wat Temple. And during the day, there's thousands of people there, right? So at nighttime, that's an exclusive dinner that we do for just our Scenic guests. And I wish I would have made it a little bigger, because that's a live picture that was taken. And when you're going to see, not everybody's in jackets, right? People are dressed comfortable, button downs or slacks. We feel at this level, right? There's just a certain level of class and sophistication that you don't really have to tell these people how to dress, right? They already know. And it's just an incredible ambiance on the ship. The other thing that one of many, but the other thing that we absolutely love about Scenic is it's not just sourced heavily from one segment or one part of the world, right? We have an incredible mix, melting pot, if you will, of unique, incredible cultures. Of course, with our Aussie friends, we are technically an Aussie brand that started in Australia, but now with the immersion here of the North American gas, and even our LatAm passengers are growing, and of course our European distribution. So when you're sourcing like-minded people from all around the world, it's really hard to recreate that, because you're creating you're creating an environment on the ship that's really how do I put this in words? It encourages camaraderie, right? Like you honestly and truly feel like you're in it together, right? Regardless of where in the world you are, and also with the crew, right? It's that people component, and all these incredible stories that we hear from our past guests. It's just really outstanding. And again, we just want to be in the conversation. So when your guests are looking for that truly all inclusive, that ultra luxury, high touch, and some of these other brands on this comparison chart you'll see there, right? We just want to be in the conversation, because again, we feel that the value proposition that we have, the pricing, and the overall experience that we're going to deliver is going to give us a fair shot to win our share of the business, but again, help you grow your book of business, right? Because these are brands that hopefully can get the attention of maybe some of the other folks that maybe they've sailed all Caribbean and they just want something different at a high level, right? Just again, another portfolio, another product in our portfolio to be able to grow your book of business. And then as you're going to see, the staterooms are incredibly spacious by design, and in contrast, of course, to our European, to our Emerald Cruises counterpart, sister brand, is the darker is going to be a more serious mood, right? So the lights, the coloring is going to be a little darker, some more wood finishes, and again, that's just to cater to the ultra luxury ambiance that we want to have on the ship. And then again, this is a really nice picture, but the one thing I want to hone in on, if you look kind of in the middle to middle left, you're going to see like an accordion, kind of a glass accordion setup there, right? Well, this is our Sun Lounger balcony technology. And for me, I'm absolutely in love with this, because, we all love balconies, right? Of course. But, whenever you're not using your balcony, essentially it's a lost real estate. And of course, real estate on ships comes at a premium, especially on river ships, right? So in fact, what it is, it's when you want your balcony experience, your balcony furniture is essentially there. You close your glass accordion door, and with a touch of a button, the window comes down, and now you have open air, and you have your balcony experience without ruining the climate of your inside stateroom. Not your inside stateroom, but inside of your stateroom. And then once your balcony experience is over, you can close the glass. My God, you can bring up the glass and close the balcony, and then open your glass accordion door, and now you get your square footage back into your stateroom. So just a really innovative way to make best use of the real estate on our ships. And again, that people covet that because real estate, of course, comes at a premium in this business. And then on top of everything that's included and on top of everything that we do, we want to take one experience and just really up it, right? So at all of our ships, we have a tour called or an experience called the Scenic Enrichment. And basically that is just, again, trying to do something over the top. In this particular picture, this is in Palace Liechtenstein in Vienna, and this is a private Mozart concert just for our Scenic guests, right? So you could do similar experiences there, not inside the palace, right? And not exclusive for your guests. So again, these are just really high touch, memorable experiences that keep the guests coming back. And this is a great picture to really say this again. Look at how the guests are dressed, right? They're very comfortable. They're very, it's a relaxed setting, but nobody's in shorts, nobody's in t-shirts. Like everybody, they know how to dress, right? Like it's a really, again, it's personalized. It's come as you are luxury, ultra luxury, and that's just the very welcoming and that camaraderie that we talk about on the ships. You're going to see an expanded region here compared to what you saw on the Emerald slides. And that's just because, again, it's law of large numbers. We have more inventory and more distribution on the Scenic Riverside, right? We have with the 15 ships compared to the 9 that are currently available today. So that is Scenic River in a nutshell, right? Think ultra luxury, very inviting, welcoming, but hitting at the highest amenities and the highest level of service when it comes to service, food, and just overall delivery of the experience. This is the creme de la creme in the marketplace. So currently, we're in the middle of a wave season. Hopefully, you guys are experiencing that as well and having a tremendous success leading into the new year now. So we'd be remiss if we didn't go over our wave offer. Now, one thing I'll tell you, we try to do simplify it. Every time there's an offer on Scenic, there will be one on Emerald and vice versa. The one difference would be, of course, the value of the offer, because they're two different. You're talking about, luxury brand and an ultra luxury brand. So, of course, there's going to be some differences. But just to highlight it, it runs all the way through February. So let's really kind of take this month and grab it by the horns and drive it home to make sure we have a successful 2025 and beyond. But there's savings up to $1,000 per suite. There's 2-for-1 offers, and then the free air, which is fantastic. And we say this: if your guests don't take the free air, there is an opportunity for an additional savings, so you don't lose that offer, right? So it's a really nice perk that Scenic and Emerald offer. And then here the same in terms. This is the Scenic. Now the difference again, it says up to $3,000 up to $3,000 per savings per suite. And also the 2-for-1 fares and all that. And I will tell you, both brands are offering a complimentary flexible booking plan. This is a value, I believe, of $250 per person. So it's a $500 kind of value add that we're giving. And this is a very powerful kind of a powerful asset, because essentially it allows you to move, or you or the guest to move the sailing to or get a future cruise credit to move the sailing to a future date, as long as that's exercised outside of 90 days before the sailing. So it gives the guests that kind of peace and comfort. Take that leap of faith. Let's go ahead and get your next destination on the book, and knowing that, hey, if life gets in the way, if these things happen, that you have the ability to move it over to another city. By no means is this an insurance, so we should absolutely always sell insurance, travel insurance for the obvious reasons. But this is just a nice kind of peace of mind perk that we're adding here for the 25 departures. In closing here, again, I'd be remiss if I didn't talk about our group program. We have, and I say this all the time, but we have probably the most responsive group department I have ever worked with in my 21 history in the business. Group quotes come out very fast, almost within the same day. The team is very on top of the follow-ups and making sure that the deposits are tracked. We're very flexible in giving extra time when needed, as long as the sailing allows. But just, there's just a lot of great things in working with it. Outside of the people component, it's also the program itself. You're gonna get a savings off of the retail FIT rates, of course. Right now, we're about to launch another group savings, so this is a great time to start looking at your groups. We do have a groups benefit guide that's available, and I'm going to show you where this is located here in a second. that'll show you basically all of the amenity points that are offered per sailing. This is that's static; it's not dynamic, so that's going to stay throughout the whole year. So you can kind of see and look to see what sailings offer the most points. Maybe we can build a group opportunity over that. And then most importantly is we don't ask any upfront deposit to hold the space, right? We'll work with you. We can give 30, 60, sometimes 90 or plus kind of days and time frame to help this group materialize, and without really tying in your funds, right? So of course we can be as flexible as a sailing allows, but this is where we can work together and you solidify a group, we build group flyers, and then we can create a plan to help you materialize this and fill it in either by cruise nights or digital marketing or whatever avenue that we can do to help really get that group on the books, right? And again, all without tying your unnecessary funds. We'd rather your money be working for you, invested into the marketing, and just in holding the inventory. We'll be good partners on that end. And then this is also very important. So no matter where you are in the United States, this or in LATAM, this is our incredible sales team. Honestly, this is one of the hardest working group of individuals, one of the most dedicated group of individuals I've ever had the pleasure of working with. There's so much knowledge and expertise vastly across river and ocean, but we just have a really excellent team that works well together. We have an excellent ecosystem, and within that, we're seeing tremendous success and growth. So if you're not currently working with your RSD, your regional sales director, please let me know or take a picture or a screenshot of this particular slide, and we'll be more than happy to get you guys connected. And then the other, and I apologize, this is the wrong slide. Do not. The only thing you should use is the QR code, not the offer highlights. That's completely my fault. That code doesn't work anymore. But this travel resources guide that's on this QR code, this is what I use every day of my life, right? It is God sent for me. And let me explain what it is. So once you open it, it is a flip book, right? It's a URL flip book. And what I like about it is it's got all of the resources in this flip book for both Emerald and Scenic. So I don't have to go and look for another or go on another website to look for what the Scenic or what's on Emerald. All of this is kind of, basically all the pages on the left are Emerald and all the pages on the right are Scenic, and these links are dynamic. So once you bookmark that link once, we're good to go. And every time there's a new edition, a new offer, any news or any assets, right? If you're looking to do some marketing, all of that will always be updated in real time. So once you save that link one time, it's good to go. Everything from ordering brochures, getting into the booking system, training, previous webinars, but also our calendars, which makes it sometimes easier to find and help your clients find different destinations, right? Just on a bunch of incredible assets. And again, if you want to walk through that with your RSD, please. I mean, we love that, right? Because we know how powerful this tool is and how great it is to have that in your fingertips. And in closing here, we love it that we're launching our bonus commission offer, CLIA bonus commission offer again. This is valid for all 2025 and 2026 sailings. And the cool thing about it is we're allowing one for Emerald and one for Scenic, right? So here you have the ability of actually doubling up this offer if you can sell one of each. So of course, let's take advantage of this. Let's get some people on the books. And we want to be your partner in arms to do that. So I know we only have a few minutes left, but hopefully we really drove home, the people component, the genuine want to do right with our partners, to help grow your book of business, but also get your clients excited and motivated to really take that next step in their travel career. So with that being said, I guess we can open it up to some questions.
Antolin, thank you so much for sharing all of this wonderful information to kick us off for 2025. I know a lot of our attendees have been thanking you for the information and responding, saying this is so cool, this is amazing. And a special thank you to Ian and Margaret. I do think that they met, they got all of the questions answered during the presentation. If there are any, and you're getting tons of claps and thumbs up and hearts. So Antoine, I think you did an amazing job. And I'm sure that you will hear a lot from our advisors in the next coming days, weeks. And if there are any questions that you all have, Antoine, if you want to go back to that map of your team, just so
Yes.
that they can take a picture of it. You're okay.
Am I still sharing or did I get out?
I'm still sharing. There
Okay,
we go. Perfect. Just in case you all missed who your contact person is with the Scenic group, here it is again. Go ahead and take a picture, write it down, and I'm sure they are waiting to hear from you all and to bring your clients on board. Thank you to the Scenic group for that shout out for your bonus commission. We really do appreciate your partnership and really going above and beyond for our advisors. And so we hope to see you all on the next one. Thank you again to the Scenic group. And hopefully we'll also see you guys at Cruise 360. Have a great day.
Take care.